What is up, guys? Jeremy here, and welcome back to another Best Tweaks video. So I'm going to do this one a little differently than I normally do. Typically in a Best Tweaks video, I get a list made up of tweaks I want to demonstrate for you guys and then cover it down the list one by one. Now, what I'm going to do in this video is I'm basically just going to freestyle it for you and show you guys what tweaks are on my device. There's a lot of tweaks on my device, and these are basically my go-to tweaks. These are tweaks that I just keep on my device at all times. I do go through a lot of tweaks, showing you guys in video how they work, but a lot of them I end up uninstalling just because I don't want to have 200 tweaks on my device and have the glitchiest device in the world, so I do end up removing them. And the ones I'm going to cover for you guys in this video are the ones that just always stay on my device. So basically my personal favorite tweaks, and I just wanted to cover it for you guys. Like I said, I'm going to freestyle this. There's no list. I will, of course, try to list all the names of tweaks in the description, but I'm basically just going to go through and show you guys what I got. Now, before we get into the tweaks, I do want to mention an incredibly useful application to have on your device. For any of you that are into tweaks, it is called iOS Repo Updates. And basically this is just a website from Safari, and I added it to the home screen, so it's kind of like its own standalone application. If we go ahead and launch it, it's incredibly useful for anybody that's into tweaks or themes or anything that involves jailbreaks. Basically what it allows you to do is to search for a package. So we'll just do a tweak, for example, and we'll search for the tweak Bazzi 2. So as long as you spell the tweak correctly, you can search for any tweak and it'll show you what repo you need to add in order to get that tweak. So as you can see, there is Bazzi 2. If we click on the name there, it'll give us the information about the package. As you can see, there's a bunch of information, but the most important is that repo URL right there. So all you gotta do from here is click and hold. You can click on copy, and then you can go into CYDIA or SILEO, add that repo, and then you can install the tweak. Incredibly useful application. Again, it's called iOS Repo Updates, and I'll leave the link for that down in the description. But anyways, getting into the tweaks that I have installed on my device, I do want to apologize. This is probably going to be a longer video than normal just because I'm going to go through a ton of different tweaks and it just will take a little bit of time. I'll also, like I said, I'll cover like the widgets on my device. I'll cover the themes on my device. I'm going to just basically cover everything I have installed just so you guys know. And it's just so many people ask me about certain things and it's hard to answer everybody, so I'm just going to try and cover everything in one fellow swoop, sort of say. But anyways, let's go into settings. Let's go into the tweak section. I forget what the name of this tweak is. It allows you to pin certain settings up to the top, as you guys can see there. I forgot the name of that. I'll leave that listed down in the description, but the tweak allows you to pin, like I said, a different section of settings to the top of settings, and I just keep my tweaks at the top just because I do go into the tweaks section probably more so than any other section, and having it at the top is very useful. So I'm going to just go through this list here and give you guys a quick explanation of what the tweak is and what I use it for. So 3D Tools gives you more force touch options for the application. You can enable or disable banners, notifications. You can lock the application with Face ID or Touch ID or a passcode. You can clear the cache of the application. You can also clear the badge and uninstall the app from the Force Touch menu. So 3D Tools gives you all those new options. A bypass allows you to select specific applications to bypass the jailbreak detection. Kind of a mouthful, but yeah, that's what this tweak does. So if I wanted, let's say 1Password would not work because there's jailbreak detection. If I enable it, it'll bypass that jailbreak detection. That's what a bypass does. Next up is a font. Tons of people ask me this question: what font am I using? The font I use in most of my videos is called Futura. And as you guys have seen in this video, that's what it looks like. It's one of my favorite fonts to use. Another one that I like to use, which I don't think I've featured in a video, but I do switch between these two fonts, is called Menlo. It's just a really cool looking font in my opinion. It's kind of like a developer's font, if you want to call it that. That's just what it reminds me of. I'll go ahead and switch it. So like I said, this is Futura, and then we'll switch to Menlo so you guys can see the difference between the two fonts. But back to the tweak itself, a font allows you to change the font of your device. It does work system-wide as well in all the applications, in settings, basically everywhere. It'll change the look of your font, which is super handy. So let's go ahead and unlock my device, and I'll show you guys what Menlo looks like. Like I said, it's kind of like a developer font in my opinion. Very cool look though. I just like Futura a little bit more, but Menlo is really cool as well. So those are my two favorite fonts to use with a font. Next up we have Animations Be Fast. I absolutely love this tweak. This tweak saves me so much time on a daily basis. It's ridiculous. So as you guys can see, these are the values I have set up, speeding up certain animations on my device. And as you guys can see, when I close an app or launch it, it's incredibly fast. Even opening up multitasking, it just swoops and snaps right into place. It's so much faster than stock. And like I said, having this tweak enabled like this allows me to save a lot of time daily by not watching these animations, or at least they're not as long as they normally are. And in return, it saves me time. So I'm using Animations Be Fast, and then the other tweak that I'm using to kind of tag team with that tweak is called FakeClockUp down here. Now, unfortunately, the preference bundle does not load on my device, but the tweak does work. This tweak will speed up other aspects that Animations Be Fast does not. So I am using FakeClockUp and Animations Be Fast as kind of a combo tweak. And like I said, it makes my device so much faster having those two tweaks. I honestly can't live without them at this point. If I were to, re-jailbreak this device, those would probably be two of the tweaks that I install immediately, just because they save me so much time every day. AppTools, I can't use it currently. I'm not sure what's up with it. I don't know if it's conflicting with another tweak or it needs to be updated by the developer, but I'm just keeping it on my device because if it does get updated or I can figure out what's going on with it, I'll use this all the time. It gives you a whole bunch of options for each application individually. As you guys see, if I try to activate it, status unavailable, so it's unfortunate, but gives you a bunch of application settings to adjust. Barmoji is really nice as well. It puts emoji shortcuts in the bottom bar of your keyboard. Anybody with, the iPhone 10 and up knows that that's basically a blank space, kind of a wasted space. Having emoji there as a shortcut's really quite handy, and that's because of Barmoji. Next up we got Bazzi 2. This allows you to use different kind of icons for your battery. I have the pill, and it also displays the percentage in the pill. I think it's just a really nice look. Very cool tweak. Like I said, you got default, you got regular battery, you got the pill fill, and then you have a circle battery that you can use in a bunch of other settings. So basically a tweak to adjust the battery icon. Board banners 12, I just covered this recently as well. It's for any device that has the notch. It basically redesigns your notification, and I have mine set to black because when you get a notification, it makes the notch disappear, and I think it looks really good, so I'll do a test. So as you can see, that's what the notification now looks like. It kind of fills in around the notch and makes the notch disappear, which I think looks really cool. So that's what board banner is. Boxy allows you to change your springboard layout. That's how I've squished my icons down a little bit, squished them in a bit, and that is because of Boxy. If I can two-finger tap, as you can see, you just set up your gesture to activate it, and you can adjust all these different values to move your icons up or down or squish them in or spread them out. So that's a very powerful tweak that I love having on my device as well. ByHomeBottomBarX, kind of a mouthful, removes the home bar from the iPhone 10 and up. So any notch device that has that annoying home bar, it shows you to swipe up on. It'll completely remove that, which I like. I don't need to see that there. I know that swiping up from the bottom is how I'm going to get out of an application or open up multitasking. I just don't need a little bar there to show me that that's the area that I swipe. Kind of a no-brainer tweak. Carrierizer allows you to customize your carrier logo. For some reason it doesn't work on mine though. It's kind of disappointing. As you can see, I have mine set to the Apple logo, but if I pull down on Control Center, it just doesn't show me anything. But I do like that, you know, it's blank, so that's why I'm using it. It kind of makes it look more minimal. I like that the carrier is not being shown. It does the same thing on the lock screen. As you can see, it does not show the carrier at the top. So I do like that, and that is why I do keep the tweak installed. But it's supposed to allow you to customize the carrier to any text you want, but I'll use it to make my device look more minimal. That's totally okay with me. Hopefully it gets updated and it's fixed on my device, but I'll use it to make it disappear. That's cool too. ColorBadges colorizes the badge notification number there. As you can see, my emails have quite a few there, but it colorizes it to match the color of the app icon. As you guys can see on Credit Karma, it is green, and then on the email there, it is blue. Also on the App Store, it is blue. So it's going to take the dominant color of the application and then make the badge color background match. So very cool tweak. CrashReporter, a very powerful application to have. Basically, if anything crashes on your device, it'll show it here. So as you can see, Safari view service crashed, SILEO crashed, my Springboard crashed recently, YouTube has crashed. Basically what you can do is go into this crash, you can select on it here, and it's going to show you a bunch of information about that crash. So if you guys are having issues where your Springboard keeps crashing, I'd recommend having this application because it'll probably tell you what tweak is causing it, which could be very, very useful. So that's CrashReporter. It does have settings to adjust and its own application. EmojiFontManager. This is another thing that it came out like 2 days ago, and I've been trying to get it to work, but I just can't. I'm supposed to be able to get the iOS 13.2 emojis on my device by using this, and for some reason it just does not work on my device. I'm not sure what's up with it. I even tried to manually install the emoji in Files, that didn't work either, so I'm not sure what's up with it. Hopefully it gets an update and I can get the iOS 13.2 emojis on my iOS 12 device, but that's what that is for. FakeClockUp we did cover. FingerLock is really cool. That's the little fingerprint on my lock screen. So normally with the Face ID devices, you swipe up to unlock your device. With the fingerprint, you just tap it and it will unlock it. Now, unfortunately, my face is out of view, so I can't just tap it to unlock it, but it just allows you to tap the fingerprint instead of swiping up when your face is detected. So very cool looking tweak in my opinion. iKeywi 4, another one that I've been using like crazy ever since it got updated. So if you notice in my upper keyboard there is the numbers. If I click shift, it changes to the symbols. To use those, you just kind of flick down on it and you can use, you know, another layer to the keyboard. So if I wanted to type 1 instead of go into the number button, I can just swipe down and it'll input a number 1. So that's what iKeywi is. It allows you to basically adjust your stock iOS keyboard. You can even add another row to it. I like having the flick options built within the keys. It's a super useful tweak to have. That's iKeywi 4. Jumper is a really cool tweak. We can go into it here. It allows you to set shortcuts on your lock screen, so on your force touch spot. So obviously I still have my force touch camera there, and Jumper allows you to customize these two toggles. If I go to the what used to be camera shortcut, as you can see, I can access Waze at the top there. For some reason the icon doesn't show. I can access my phone, my messages, or the camera from that button, just like so. So if I want to go into the camera, I just force touch that, and as you can see, there it is. What's up, guys? But very useful for editing those shortcuts on the lock screen here. And like I said, I used the tweak Jumper to do that. Allows you to fully customize both toggles to have multiple toggles or just be a completely different toggle. Very, very useful tweak to have. Kill 10 Pro allows you to have a little kill button in your multitasking, and if you click that button, it'll kill every application from multitasking. Another very, very functional tweak to have. LocalIAPStore, I can't cover in video. Unfortunately, I can't demonstrate it, but it allows you to get in-app purchases for free on only certain applications. If the application is not like a server-based application where the server's talking to, your phone on, let's say how many coins you have. It will not work for a server-based, but if it's a standalone application that does not talk to a server, you can basically use that to get in-app purchases for free. Noctis 12 is an absolute must-have in my opinion. This gives my device this dark mode on iOS 12. So I have dark mode in settings. I have the dark notifications, the dark widgets here. It allows you to enable dark mode in basically any place of iOS 12 that you want, and it looks very much like iOS 13. So very cool tweak. Even the folder backgrounds, as you can see, they're in dark mode. The dock is in dark mode as well. So an absolute must-have on my device. Having dark mode just looks so much better than it always being white. No sub I'm not currently using. As you can see, the preference bundle doesn't load. I just haven't uninstalled it. Notifica allows you to customize the notifications on your device. I have it disabled currently, but you can customize the way your notifications and your widgets look, which is pretty cool. PowerModule I use all the time, so if we swipe down on Control Center, this module is PowerModule. It allows you to do a quick respring. It allows you to clear the UI cache on your device. You can do a reboot. You can enter your device into safe mode, a bunch of stuff. So PowerModule is very useful. As you guys can see here, there is confirmation options and stuff like that. PreferenceOrganizer 2, another really nice tweak to have for those of you that go into settings all the time. So PreferenceOrganizer 2, basically what it does is it makes a subcategory for your tweaks. Normally you'd swipe down here and you'd have a huge long list. You'd have your system apps, your tweaks, and then your App Store apps, and the list would go and go and go. I think it's really annoying to have your settings like that, and this basically puts them all into their own categories. As you can see, the system apps there, and then obviously the tweaks there, and then your App Store apps in the panel below that allows you to just go into it and have them all sectioned off. Makes settings much more simplistic in my opinion, and it saves you a lot of time when you're trying to find a certain application. Like I said, that's due to PreferenceOrganizer 2. Roman Pad, as you guys could probably see with that, it changes your number buttons to Roman numerals. It does it in the phone app, and it also does it on the lock screen, as you guys seen. I just like the way it looks much better. We have shy labels. That's how the labels are able to be shown, and then they'll disappear after a second. I like not having any labels whatsoever, but when it comes to like my girlfriend using my phone, she doesn't know what certain applications look like, so this is very useful for her to find an application to open it, just because she doesn't know what these custom themed icons are and where the app is. So very useful to have shy labels. You can keep them hidden, but you can also have them display for a second. I find that to be very functional. Next up, we got Zen HTML. Now, this alone, I'm probably going to spend a good 2 minutes on, just because there's a lot of widgets that I use. So if you guys don't know what Zen HTML is, it allows you to use widgets on your device. That's how I have that date and time widget on the home screen. That's how I have a different clock on the lock screen. So what we're going to do is go in here, and I'm just going to go to background widgets, because that's what I use. If you guys didn't know the difference between background and foreground, foreground, if you put a widget on, let's say the first page of your springboard, when you swipe to the second page, that widget will stay with the first page. It doesn't stay at the top. Background is it stays in one place, doesn't matter what page it's on. It's just a little bit of a disclaimer in case you guys didn't know that. So if we go into the background widgets here, I am currently using SB EW77, and I'm using white space particles as a widget. So if we go into the widgets here, I do have a lot installed. And I'll try to leave these all listed down in the description as well for you guys, because a lot of people ask me about like the animated ones, which look really cool, like this fluid widget. As you guys can see, that's basically what the widget does. It's just kind of like an animation. A lot of these ones that I like to use down here, like the snowstorm, also the white particles, as you can see, that's really quite cool looking. It's a widget for Zen HTML, and the particles came in a pack. The fluid one is a separate download, but these are just kind of my favorite widgets. I can show you some of the other ones here. So that's one widget. We have EW.48. There's another widget for you guys. So these are just some of the widgets I like to use. EW77. That's the one I'm currently using on my home screen. And then there's the LS Mune. That's what that widget looks like. Springboard Mune, as you can see at the top there. So if you wanted to get rid of your status bar, you could actually use this instead, because you have your battery percentage, your clock. It's just a pretty cool widget, I think. So that is some of the home screen widgets that I use. So if I back out and go to lock screen and background widgets here, we'll just add a widget so I can show you. Same thing, those particle effects are all found here as well. And as you can see, I do have a lot of other widgets in this section, and I'll try to show you guys. I'll try to leave the repos for these in the description. If not, like I said, use that iOS Repo Updates application to search for these names to figure out where to get them. But there's one widget I like to use. CX.LS 7 is this one. That's hard to see because it's in black, so you need a very light wallpaper to use that one. The little battery widget, very hard to see probably on video, but on my home screen at the very bottom there, it shows my battery percentage. That's from that LS EW.Battery 140. That's what it looks like. That's a pretty cool looking widget as well. 47, another widget. A lot of these are like clock replacements basically. There's the one I'm using right now. I really like the way that one looks, which was 147, I believe. No, it's 173. 197, very cool looking widget. 98. We got this guy here. That's what that widget looks like. 79, just another widget. A ton of widgets. I have a lot of widgets on my device, guys. The rest of these are those particle effects. I'm using the white space particles right now. No widgets available. And then we have the same as the home screen there, LS Mune and SB Mune. So that's a bunch of the different widgets I have installed. I'll try to leave the repo names in the description, like I said, guys. But that's Zen HTML, and those are the widgets I like to use. Like I said, the tweak allows you to put widgets on your home screen or lock screen and fully customize the positioning of it and a bunch of other stuff. Very, very nice tweak to have. Now I guess we could go into some of the applications. iCleaner, an absolute must on your device. My iPhone's actually 90% full. I'm going to go ahead and clean it on video. It's been like a week and a half since I've cleaned it. And usually iCleaner will free up like a couple gigabytes worth of crap on your device that you just don't need. So it is very nice to have. And we'll get that ad to go away. So it did clean up 1.5 gigabyte. It always wants a respring after you do clean it. So iCleaner, definitely a must-have application to have on your device. Let it go through its respring here. And like I said, guys, very, very long video trying to cover all this stuff on my 10S Max. So we got iCleaner. N Control allows you to use an Xbox One controller or a PS4 controller on iOS 12. So it's basically what's native to iOS 13, but I'm not going to update to iOS 13 because I would rather be jailbroken than be on a newer firmware. So having N Control allowing me to connect to those controllers and use them with controller-supported games from the App Store is just a huge bonus. We have reprovision here. I use this to re-sign the Chimera jailbreak so that it does not get revoked. So this is a very powerful application. As most of you would know, after about a week, they will revoke the certificate for like Chimera or the Uncover jailbreak, and then you have to delete the app and reinstall it. Basically what reprovision does is re-signs it every 6 days so that it never gets revoked. So you never have to worry about deleting it and reinstalling it. So that's a very, very functional application to have. This is Succession, and this will allow you, as you can see, it crashed blah blah blah. So there must be a new version of Succession. It allows you to restore your device to its current firmware. So I'm on iOS 12.0, and what I could do is restore my device to 12.0 and start out on a fresh new jailbreak if I were to ever have issues. So Succession is very powerful. I think I need to update it or something because it keeps crashing. We got Fileza, basically file browser or finder for iOS. You can go through the entire file system on your device with this application. Very, very powerful. And I think that's just about everything. I do have New Term 2, which is the new terminal for iOS 12. As you guys can see, terminal allows you to run commands and do some other crazy stuff on your device. New Term 2 is really cool. And I'm trying to think. I think that's basically everything I use on a almost daily basis on my device. Oh, I have to show you the themes. I almost forgot themes, guys. So I'm using Anemone right now. Snowboard is also really good, but I like Anemone because it allows me to have an icon mask and also enable these settings, themes. For some reason, Snowboard doesn't allow me, but right now I'm using Bohemic. I also use Flux all the time. We got Lotus, we got Muse 4, we got Kara. I have a miscellaneous theme that I purchased off of someone on Twitter. I really like the theme. It's called UYEL. Very cool looking theme. We have a Chimera Dark icon. Bubblegum is a really cool looking theme as well. We got Goji, A Liquid, Voila Dark. We got Mint 4, the original Voila, Aura, Bohemic Noir, which is the black version of Bohemic, Felicity, some Nutra texts I probably need to delete, and then Emoji iOS 13.2 that doesn't work, which I should disable. But those are all the different themes that I have running, and as you guys can see, I like to kind of combo them up. Bohemic is the main theme. I also have on Muse 4 for any other application that isn't themed, and I also have Kara on for any other app that those two don't theme. And also I am using the Kara mask to give my icons that kind of 3D effect. So those are the themes, those are the widgets, that's everything I got on my device. Those are pretty much all the different tweaks. Pretty big list. I don't know how many I've covered, but I hope you guys enjoyed this longer, basically every tweak that's on my device video. Like I said, if you guys have any other questions about any other tweaks that I might not have mentioned in this video, I have a tweaks playlist down in the description. Be sure to check that out. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, definitely throw me a thumbs up. That helps me out a lot here at the channel. And if you guys want to see more videos like this in the future, don't forget to click that subscribe button. This has been Jeremy, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Later.